we're in so much trouble. It is Sunday, July 17th, 2021. We're in Vietnam, and this is my second vlog, or as I like to call them, vlogs. For a week or so, I had a plan to show you the streets of Saigon from the point of view of the handlebar of my moped bike. There's always something happening on the way from my home to work. And if you live in Southeast Asia, you're really familiar with that already. All the crowded streets, the market stalls, the smells, the crazy amount of stuff that delivery people put on their bikes, all of that. Ton of fun. I had a plan of opening a brand new YouTube channel just to show the world what the streets of Saigon look like. The thing is, we lived a pretty normal 2020 compared to the rest of the world. Sure, there were no foreign tourists because they weren't able to come in, but everything was pretty much open and the number of cases of COVID were extremely low, maybe a dozen per day at the maximum. And then last week on Friday, this happened. The streets of Saigon completely emptied out. Some whole quarters were quarantined and cordoned off with police tape. The police set up some blockades from district to district. We hear ambulances on the street every minute. We entered a full lockdown, or as they call it here,
Directive 16.
Starting from May 2021, Vietnam started to struggle with the Delta variant. You can see it from this chart. On the y-axis is the number of cases, and on the x-axis it's the date. We started off really slow in 2020, maybe a little peak in July, and then starting from July 2021, mid-July we reached 1,000 cases. And the figures might not be what's important, but just have a look at the magnitude of our current wave relatively to the previous waves. This is starting to severely strain the healthcare system, and as the supply chain starts to get messy, small businesses and a lot of underprivileged people are really struggling. And so we, Saigonese, were taking on a roller coaster of misinformation, threats of full lockdown, denials, counter denials, food supply issues. I think I got whiplashed 3 times just reading the news. So the status right now is we're not allowed to go out with any valid reason, such as going for grocery shopping or going to the hospital. Only essential businesses are allowed to open, so restaurants and all shops are closed. Taxis aren't available, ride-sharing apps aren't available. But this is something that I've discovered. Apparently, flower shops and mobile phone stores are allowed to open. Essential businesses. So in the next foreseeable future, I'll be shooting my safe motion videos from my apartment. I won't risk going out because that's $100 fine. If I remember correctly, over $300,000 of fines were picked up by the police in the first few days of the Directive 16 implementation. So as the US and Europe are slowly getting back to something that's a bit more maybe normal, Southeast Asia is in full battle mode. So what about my new channel about showing you the streets of Saigon? Well, that's still happening, and I'm going to take you through all the empty streets of Saigon and its progressive reopening, hopefully. I'm going to try and upload most days of the week. There's still a ton of crazy things happening. I promise you some chills, so just head out to this channel. I don't know, I don't have the name yet. It'll appear right there at the bottom. And please let me know what you think about the first few videos. In the meantime, run safe. À bientôt.